is perennial. Sorry, a new episode just started. What is it? Let me find myself again. I'm gonna pause the video until I find myself. Okay, continuing. James was imbalanced and he needed to put his paranoia to rest. As he set up to leave his final class, James discovered that he was quite tired, despite having taken his nap and being knocked unconscious in close succession. All the thoughts racing inside of him were drained his lifeblood from him. James started to feel anticipation as he stepped outside, feeling the cold air inviting him toward his destination. He could feel the paleness of his face, even though he could not see anything in the darkness of the night. God, is this thing almost done? James walked into the library with the sudden inkling that he was forgetting something. His mind was processing the facts of the day, of his life in the last day. What am I missing? James questioned himself rigorously, and so he took caution in each movement on the third floor of the library. The veins in his head were enlarging, and James felt like he was absorbing the knowledge from his surroundings. He could not pinpoint the sort of his decomposure in his internal being, but he could not help but feel that another apex was approaching. He turned the corner of the final bookshelf and saw that Cindy was already on the table waiting for him. She looked more beautiful than... Yeah, it's perverted. Then he remembered she had a certain graceful soul, about her. Hey, I came here to finish my story, so I hope you don't mind if I work while we talk. The words left James' mouth with a newfound confidence. His ailments were no longer affecting him, the disabling manner, and he was feeling much better in good company. I know you're going to be working on that silly story. Just put it away for right now. I won't be long. James' heart stopped. Did I hear her correctly? Did you just say that he thought she said? There was no way Cindy could know that he was writing the story because he had never mentioned it to her. Something was not right, and James instantly knew he was in danger. He quickly remembered that the library was practically empty on his way up. No one would know he was up there, and he would be able to hear anything happening that high up from the ground level. James' pulse was draining, and he felt his clinging to the tangible world was weakening. I have no idea what he just said there. What? Whatever. He could bear the nagging sense. Who are you? James screamed with a wild Hold on. Oh, it's almost over. It means he's screwed. The lights of the light flickered, and James realized that he had not made an actual conversation with another human being besides Sydney since he had met her. The bizarre qualities of the day finally shed the cocoon on the pseudo-realism to expose the truth. James' revelation opened his eyes for the first time since the aforementioned day's experience, and discovered Sydney for what she really was. She was now contorting in a seizure-like twisting of limbs and flesh. She grew in stature, and her hair receded into her skull, so that she was a gray husk of a girl. James' mind tricked him into saying her arms grew 5 feet long. Her hands became wrinkled, and her fingernails lengthened into talons. Sydney's legs bent backwards to a beast-like appearance, and her clothes were absorbed in a mass of tendrils surrounding her body. Her face elongated to hold a new set of black bony protrusions, I think, and her eyes developed into her globulous visage. Her mouth was made cavernous and opened into a morbid extension that left her lower jaw hanging at about her mid-body. She was emitting no sound from her crevice. What? Other than the singing noise of call waiting tone. I am Sydney, the creature screeched. It positioned itself directly in front of James before squealing. There are some things in this universe that are better left unfinished. We could not afford you to complete your story, lest your kind would have discovered us prematurely. Sydney inched its way towards James, held his breath, waiting for the end to encompass him, his being. He began a split-second planning to escape, only to discern that it would be to no avail. James felt uneasy, knowing his mind would no longer have to strain. The search was over. He had found Sydney. So that was writer's block. It wasn't really that good. What do you think, Matthew?
It was interesting.
Just
Um,
it's kind of boring though. I mean, it wasn't really that good. It didn't have a good payoff.
so, next time you guys decide to write a story about a crazy guy, make him do something.
Make him do. Well, he wasn't really crazy. It was just that he was in a situation he shouldn't have been in.
Yeah, so, yeah, next time you guys get into horror, fill yourself with, watch your Saw movies, watch your Alien, don't write a story about it, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
That's the
I want
message,
to
kids.
like from
And
now on before
now,
we do
for
it.
Will, I'm gonna edit in one of those little "and now you know" things. And okay, and now you know.
Okay.
Well,
Um.
that's the end of writer's block. So I guess we'll see you next story.
Yeah, and for the next story, I'm actually gonna read it. Well, read part of it at least until hold on, I just blinked out. Until before we write it, before we read it. I can't say anything now because of this stupid story. Um, one, so I can read it better, know what's going, at least know a little bit of what's going on, and two, so that I can know it shorter. So please like, subscribe, and come back for the next episode or reading. Bye.